Hey guys, EggsPeke's here, giving you tips on how to play Anivia. This video will cover the fundamentals, as going in detail will probably take too long for most people's interest. I'll make another video covering more in-depth analysis of Anivia sometime this week. I've played around 3,000 games just with Anivia alone for the past 4 or 5 years, and hit a season peak of Diamond 1 by mostly playing Anivia. I find that she's not as difficult as Riot implies, but is fairly difficult to master. To start off, I'll give you guys an overview of my playstyle with Anivia. My playstyle involves waiting for the enemy to make a mistake, or look for an opening early on and abuse it to snowball. It generally works out, and if it doesn't, you can wait until later levels to actually catch them off. For my masteries, I go 20 on offense and 9 in utility, with the last point being ruining affinity. For 20 on offense, I take a point in double-edged sword because I believe Anivia has an exceptionally long range auto attack. If you learn how to auto attack the enemy for free, you deal 1.5% more damage while not taking any damage at all. I take a point in spell weaving and blade weaving because I try to harass the enemy laner as much as possible with my auto attacks as well as spells. If you learn how to time your spells and your autos, you can maximize your damage. My runes for Anivia is 2 quints of movement speed, 1 quint of ability power, 9 marks of hybrid pen, 9 seals of scaling health, and 9 glyphs of scaling ability power. To explain my runes, I'll start off with the quints. Anivia is a very slow champion, and if you've played Anivia before, you'll know that the majority of Anivia's damage comes from her E, Frostbite. It's true that her Q and R, Flash Frost and Glacial Storm, deals damage, but her main nuke ability is her E. If you manage to land your Q or R at max range, sometimes you're not fast enough to get close to them in order to land your Frostbite. So that is one reason why I take movement sequence, and another is usually to catch up to someone in order to wall them and force a team fight. Hybrid Penetration rune goes well with my playstyle since I like to harass the enemy laner with autos as well as spells. Sure, you use a bit of magic penetration compared to just getting flat magic pen runes, but I believe doing a lot of auto attacks makes up for that as well. Scaling health seals are something I've been using even before armor seals got nerfed. Health is always better than armor for Anivia since you're getting basically double the health when you go into your egg form. Scaling health could be substituted with flat health seals depending on your preference. Scaling ability power glyphs are amazing on Anivia because even early on, her damage is pretty insane even without much AP due to her base damage being so high. But that is justified since the main damage source is landing your Q and E, and without landing your Q, Frostbite could be seen as just wasting mana. Just like seals, scaling glyphs can be substituted with flat ability power glyphs. This is my skill tree with Anivia. I take Q at level 1 and max at 2nd with her W. I take E at level 2 and max at 1st. I max Anivia's ultimate whenever I can. I used to max Q 2nd and W 3rd, but I found that the wall length at level 2 manages to block jungle entrance from mid lane, and I prefer having that over a bit more damage on Q. Now that we got the basics out of the way, let's talk about laning. Early levels can be fairly difficult or fairly easy depending on your matchups and playstyle. My playstyle involves harassing the enemy as much as possible when I find out their moving patterns or when they try to last hit the minions. If your enemy is melee, it's much easier to harass them when they try to last hit due to Anivia's Q having a large blast radius. If you can, always try to detonate her Q after you see the initial damage has been dealt by passing them. Even at level 1, damage will catch most mid laners off guard and make them change their playstyle as now they understand the damage. If you have a hard time landing your Q, it's not the end of the world because at level 6, you'll have your Glacial Storm, and after level 6, it should be easier. At level 6, if you're close enough to land the E-R combo, then I recommend practicing it. If you're not close enough, then R and E combo will be good enough too. So this is my item build. First item is Catalyst the Protector. Second item is either level 1 boots or sword boots depending on situation. After that, you go for either Tier Goddess, House of Harmony, or Forbidden Idol depending on your laner and the situation of the team fights. After that, complete Rod of Ages, get Needlessly Large Rod and build that into Zanya's. After that, finish building your Tier Goddess into Archangels, or House of Harmony into Athene's Unholy Grail, or Forbidden Idol into Morellonomicon. After that, either get Void Staff or Guardian's Angel depending on situation, and if you build GA first, Void Staff should be the last item. If Void Staff is first, then GA should be the last item. Something to note is that this item build is something that I found most helpful for my playstyle, and it might not be the best for you, so please consider that. So that pretty much covers the basic of my Anivia guide. If you feel that I missed something basic, or there is something that you want me to cover more in depth, then feel free to let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like the video, feel free to like and share and subscribe for more future contents. Thank you guys, and see you again next time.